Good morning, good morning. My name is Claire and I have bipolar disorder. Today I'd like to tell you a little bit more about myself in a more serious way. We've done Claire cooing like a pigeon and yeah, that was fun and I enjoyed doing that, but I have realised that you actually know very little about me. So the following is my journey, not just with bipolar disorder, but with the other mental illnesses that form the mob. I'm told that I was always a funny little thing. When I was a child, I reacted quite strongly and quite badly to things like rustling bags and going to new places. There was one holiday in Bournemouth, somewhere down south, where we went to a place called Tunnels Through Times, which was a dark room which traced humanity throughout the ages. But my goodness gracious, I was frightened. I was so unreasonably, extensively, beyond belief frightened about this place. And I still have dreams about it, actually. I was a very sensitive little child. I didn't have very high self-esteem even as a little one. We went on a year 11 trip, I think, to one of these, I don't know, activity centres for a week. And the teacher took pictures of us. And when I saw them, I was so horrified about the way I looked that I snuck back into the classroom at the end of school, found the photo printouts and removed all pictures of me. I really didn't like myself, and especially the way I looked. I loved school. I liked learning. I still do like learning. I actually have 4 or 5 languages on the go at the moment. One of the signs that I'm having a bipolar week is that I suddenly pick them all up, all of them, and off we go. From morning till night, me learning languages. That's a sign that I've come to recognise, and now I am much better at saying, okay Claire, just one, for just 1 hour today. Throughout my school days, I showed signs of becoming really overstimulated really quickly. They gave me a cupboard at school, a stock cupboard with all that nasty paper in it, and a chair and a radio, and that was my chill out room where I could go and calm down and be quiet. I liked that little room. It was comforting to me. I had a lot of friends, but I didn't like socialising. I had not quite a dread of the summer holidays, but I knew that in order not to worry my family, I would be expected to go see those friends and do things and pop to the shops and go to the park. And I had planned it out so that every 3rd day I would grit my teeth and bear it and do something. And I think a lot of people say that they feel different from their peers. For me, it wasn't that I felt different, it was that I couldn't connect with other people. I felt a disconnect. I knew that my friends were enjoying the things that we were doing, but I couldn't feel that enjoyment. I went off to college to do my A-levels. It was a 6th form college, quite big. From what I remember, my timetable was adjusted to help me. There wasn't really a thing that we call now homeschooling. but I was permitted to do more work at home than perhaps other people were. It helped me. I needed that. And at sixth form, that was the first time I saw a counsellor. There was a counsellor at college, and I knew at that point that I wasn't feeling well, and I went to see this lady, but I didn't have it in me to say anything. So for, I would say, 6-hour sessions, I literally sat in silence, knowing that I needed to be there, knowing that I needed to verbalise what was in me, what pain was in me, but being absolutely unable to do so. She was lovely, and I actually didn't feel ill at ease, or not that ill at ease, but we realised together that I wasn't quite ready to talk about what was in me at that point. I then went off to university. I went to Oxford and I studied English, and there I felt a lot better about myself. I felt freer. I enjoyed it, and I think my mental health improved quite significantly for those 3 years. I then went to law school, which I suppose my journey with mental illness really begins. I don't know what happened. It was a 2-year course, and I completed the first year, but within a couple of weeks of the second year, I was in bed. I stayed in bed. I went into a deep, deep depression. Tori Amos saw me through that. I had, is it Scarlet's Walk, her album? And I had that on repeat, and it just played and played and played all day. It wasn't like me. It wasn't like me not to finish my work, or not to do the stuff I needed to do, but things had really changed. So I went home. I came back to my hometown, my sort of very nice but very bland hometown where I still live. Within a couple of weeks of being back at home, I was admitted to the psych ward for the first time. This was a really scary thing. I mean, I was 22 when I began my career in mental illness, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why the things that were happening to me were actually happening to me. I didn't know why. I mean, thankfully, I had an amazing psychiatrist for the most part of those years of hospital. She looked after me to the best of her ability, in the context of the medical science that was available at the time. I think things would have been done differently now. The next few years are a bit of a blur. I was highly medicated, deeply unhappy, very depressed, anxious. I developed OCD traits which follow me to this day, and the eating disorder that I had during my teenage years resurfaced. I still deal with those things. I do my best to manage the conditions I have, but it is raw. There is, as I say, a bit of a mob that comes after me day in, day out. After a while, and by that I mean 2 or 3 years, I think it became clear that yes, I was suffering with anxiety, but there was an element of agitation as well, and my mood was fluctuating, not necessarily due to external influences, but it was flipping due to something from the inside. And I was re-diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Feeling depressed is horrible. I feel, I think I said in another video that I feel dead inside, and that's part of it. Part of it is feeling disconnected from everything. Part of it is not believing that things will change ever, that there's no possibility of things changing. For someone who has a lot of words, I struggle to find the words for this. The flip side is mania, I guess. I always say that's worse than depression, and I think there's a bit of a misconception that mania is happy, 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 and it can be like that, but it often isn't, or at least for me, it isn't always like that. I can be really energetic and full of enthusiasm, but quite a lot of the time while that's happening, I am so agitated that I want to tear my skin off. It isn't nice to feel agitated to that degree so much of the time. So that's the timeline of my illnesses. I can and will go into more depth about the different aspects of those and also the different conditions. It isn't always easy, but I do all right, you know, I do okay. And I hope this video has let you know just a little bit more about who I am. If you, I don't want to say enjoyed, but if this video has helped you feel less alone, that someone else has been through this and is going through this, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Over and out.